this karmic chain of the family. After that incident, my brother-in-law, which is the one shown in the middle here, had come to trust me to take care of his medication and started taking his medications more regularly. And when we finally brought him back home from the hospital, he knelt down together with my husband and I, chanted in front of the Gamonzon. This brought tears to our eyes. And since then, things started improving. He is now able to work again, and my mother-in-law's condition has improved significantly, and she entrusts me with all her medication, and she takes her medication regularly. She can now ignore the little voice in her head and joyfully attend discussion and chanting meetings regularly with me. And my father-in-law too started chanting 2 to 3 years back. Although this would be an ongoing journey, with my brother and my mother-in-law, but it has really changed how it has really changed my perspective of life and how I come to understand and be able to respect and appreciate my brother-in-law and my mother-in-law. So one day, after all this incident, one day my husband said to me, "Other women may have run away from this family, but you stayed on." I realized when he said this that it was due to my training in my youth. I realized that we do not need to be victim of our environment. We have the power to change the negative to positive. This is what it means by changing poison into medicine in Buddhism. And I'm truly grateful to my senior Tindakai who had trained and polished me when I was young. And I realized then my true happiness after 40 is to possess this appreciative and undefeated heart. So this was the happy family with a different new year after I got married. Before that, we had never been able to celebrate together with my younger brother-in-law, and that was the first New Year that we celebrated together. So after marriage, I'm constantly asked if I had wanted a child of my own. Although I did not brush off the idea, it had not been a priority for me. The senior even suggested that I prayed for it because I may be having a mental block. And she said the important thing was not whether I actually got what I prayed for, but prayer will definitely open our mind to know thyself. So out of respect for my senior, and this senior was a senior way back during my youth in the girls' band. So out of that respect, I penned it down that night when I got back home, and in case I may forget to chant about it. And this is what I wrote. Be the mother of a healthy child in 2018. And this prayer I started sometime in October 2018. So I do not know how the prayer would come through, but that was what I penned down. And 2 months later, my prayer was answered in a totally unexpected manner. In December 2008, my husband received a call from a relative that they were desperately hoping that we can adopt their grandson. We were not ready for this. However, considering the trauma the child was undergoing at that time, we agreed to take him under our care. The child was only 2.5 years old, still wearing his diapers. And when we took the child away from the relative even suggested that we bring him for psychological counseling, as they sense something is amiss in this child. However, I could discern deep inside he is a happy child. deeply craving to be understood and loved. So in this picture, he was with me. This was a picture I took when he was with me just few days. Uh, just for a few days, and it was uh, uh, it was a very strange kind of relationship. I would say to the extent it's mystic, because immediately we could connect, and I was determined to do my best for the child and guide him to find his own mission. At that time, I did not know whether I could be a good mother. Frankly, I was totally unprepared and unconvinced of myself. However, I was deeply convinced that if I can lead him to practice this Buddhism and be connected to Soka Gakkai, he will not go astray. It was a start of I would say, a torturous journey. Being a first-time parent, it was really taking a toll on our mental and physical health. I meant both my husband and I, and even strained my relationship with my husband, because the boy was restless most of the time and would be throwing tantrums and even turning violent at times. He had slapped me on my face numerous times when he turns violent. However, both my husband and I were determined not to resort to beating. I had to chant all the time to stay calm and to have the wisdom and compassion to handle him. And after that, my husband actually started attending psychological classes, which helped us understand the child better in this aspect. We were also determined to help him resolve the issues with his own parents, and that he would one day transform his own family karma. Indeed, I must say, the cause had been planted because his grandmother, who took care of him, and his biological father had agreed to try the practice and joined Soka Gakkai as a Soka friend. And this was the picture 5 months later. I was able to bring the joy for discussion meeting, and you can see him here in the yellow shirt. And he's now attending preschool classes at Buddha Suka. My husband and I have realized that Jordan, which is his name, that he has taught us about love and life. And for me, I began to understand the meaning of deeply respecting the Buddhahood within each person. I'm grateful